it was a disappointing finish to a really up and down season for the Cubs. And I know that if you just look at the totality of it, and Craig's been trying to do that, we won 92 games, and that's a really good season. Sure, if you look at it that way, I can agree that winning 92 games is a big deal. Was the third best record in baseball or something like that, fourth best record in baseball, even though they were a wild card team. Cool. Like that's all cool. But in the moments when we question the Cubs, and there was a lot of questioning of the Cubs in the Padres series and this series with the Brewers, it still leaves, I think, a lot of Cub fans being like, I don't know how I felt about this season. And I would have felt a lot better had they won Game 5.
Yeah, you would have felt better and found yourself in an NLCS. And first and foremost, I'm bummed that the local baseball season is over.
We got 3 extra weeks out of it, though.
We sure did. And so that was fun. October baseball was fun. And it was, on the whole, a good season, a compelling season, an interesting season, often fun. And the organization's in a very healthy place, and next year should be competitive and all of that. But they're not good enough to beat these other teams in the postseason. When it becomes about having great swing and miss pitchers, they don't have enough. When it becomes about having enough power and enough slug to win solo home run festivals, they have not had enough in this small sample of the postseason.
Is that like the pitchfork?
Yeah, man. It's a good time.
The solo home run festival?
Can't believe they had R. Kelly play one year.
Wow. That's right. He did.
He played pitchfork one year, man. They were like,
Was that the Trapped in the Closet days?
I think it was.
Jeez.
But I found myself watching this and thinking,
trapped in a jail cell.
They are, in that series and in that game, they were short. They were short a couple things. One is the pitching, like I just referenced. And maybe if they'd had Cade Horton healthy, do they win that series? Cade Horton instead of Colin Ray? Cade Horton possibly instead of Shota for one of those usages. The way that you change things up. Because having Jacob Mizorowski instead of using Quinn Priester those 2 times.
He's a fun dude to watch, man.
I mean, they had more. And they had Chad Patrick, who, was getting swing and miss.
It's a made-up guy.
Right. But they had him, So, you're a little short there. And if you're not going to have enough of that, then you got to have enough of the slug, right? Here's what I found myself thinking, Lawrence. If they have Alex Bregman, do they win that series?
Okay, I'll go deeper with that question. If they have Alex Bregman, do they win the division?
Maybe. Could be. But, if 8 and 9 is PCA and Swanson, and Bregman's up in there ahead of Happ, and
if Bregman's hitting 5.
3, 4, 5 is Seiya, Tucker, and Bregman the other night. If Bregman is getting some of these at bats, it's like I found myself thinking, boy, they're just a little short. And I think they're short on either side. Because if you're not going to have quite that much hitting and slug and stars, then you better make sure you got enough swing and miss pitching. And they didn't have quite enough of that. So you got to have one or the other, and they didn't quite have enough of one or the other. And that's what I find myself left with here today. And there's lots of off-season to think about what to do and everything. But as we're putting that season to bed, that's what I ended up thinking about.
As the game was moving on, and it was moving pretty quickly Saturday, I was like, oh, yeah. You had the feeling that it wasn't going to happen for them. And you just went, oh, look at some of the things, some of the weird little things that happen inside the game. It didn't feel like something that they were going to overcome.
It didn't feel like that. Because
you were there. What did it feel like there?
It didn't feel like they were going to overcome it, sadly. Look, as much as Counsell talked about all series long, got to put pressure on the other team's pitchers. Put pressure on them every inning. Pressure was maybe we'll homer this inning. And that's kind of how that game played out. Do you know how many at-bats they had all series long with men in scoring position? All series long, how many at-bats do they have?
Runners in scoring, I'm going to say 6.
7. That's crazy low. Dude, that is crazy low for a 5-game series. People weren't getting on base. People weren't getting into scoring position. And this is where I differ from a lot of other baseball people. I want more Nikos, man. I want more contact. I want more dudes who are putting pressure on by putting the ball in play.
Well, I thought that was one thing where I was like, you could have put some pressure on them when you did have runners on first and second. You could have started your run game a little bit, and I felt like Craig was like, I'm gonna trust Kyle Tucker.
But it was Bush as the lead runner. It's Bush and Nico with 3, 4, 5 coming up. There was a double steal the night before, the game before. So I don't love it.
I wanted that runner at third, but that's something that we can get to later on.
But I feel in terms of like lineup composition, and I know Nico doesn't. If he doesn't hit 300, then his on base isn't as high as you want it. But I just if dudes who put the ball in play, dudes who put pressure on the opposition, and
guys who hit line drives,
guys who hit freaking line drives,
laser beams, pew,
and
pew,
there's not that many of them. There's not that many of them around the league, But I want more guys like that.
At